Hello, my name is Derek Jordan with Colliers Engineering and Design, and I'd like to welcome you to our presentation on the facilities management in terms of taking care of the buildings, the air conditioning and air quality systems, the parking lot and circulation of the various schools so that the best and highest quality both teaching and learning environment can be provided. In terms of district-wide facility management, Colliers Engineering Design really takes a four-stage approach to this, and that's how our presentation today is going to be broken down. I'm going to start off with the evaluation process. This consists of doing a facility condition assessment as well as an energy audit of the facilities as they currently exist. Second, Tom Bryce is going to review self-funded Esip projects and energy savings that can be looked at and implemented. Third, Dave Healy is going to review and go over capital improvement plans, 5 and 10-year budgeting plans, as well as referendum. And finally, Sue Zitzman is going to go over asset management and long-term operation and maintenance plan and taking care of the facilities and systems we have in place long-term. So as I stated, I'm going to start off with talking about evaluating the systems and the schools that are in their existing condition. This is looking at everything, really a holistic approach at both the buildings and the sites and taking everything into consideration, looking both at short-term needs as well as potential long-term needs. Our approach to this, again, is a holistic approach in looking at the schools and the sites. We want to look at what's needed to be done, and at the same time as we do this, we're always going to have in the back of our mind how these projects can be funded, potential grants, federal incentives, energy programs, everything that can be in there. Colliers Engineering Design brings a grant writing team to the projects so that we can help your district in the future apply for those grants if we feel they are applicable. So again, going over first the facility condition assessment. What we do here is we do a detailed review of all the buildings, the sites, the HVAC systems, the electrical systems. We want to look at roofs, windows, building facade, parking lots, sidewalks, circulation, lighting, both internal and external to the building. Obviously, there's always a focus on health and safety issues and especially COVID issues, wanting to look at air quality, air conditioning. Um, we also want to look at ADA compliance, again, both internal to the building as well as external, making sure the sidewalks are compliant, but also internal to the building, ADA compliant bathrooms and such. We're also going to look at beyond just the issues of needing immediate attention, but also look at the useful life of your mechanical systems, boilers, HVAC systems, roof warranties. You may have systems that are in perfectly good working condition now, but given their age, we can identify when we would anticipate these items needing to be replaced in the future. As we go through each building, we'll develop a list of all the items needing attention. These items will then, in our next phase, be ranked from priority 1 to priority 5. Priority 1 are the emergent things. These are the items that need to be addressed immediately. You may have a roof that leaks and is creating a water intrusion issue. You may have a boiler that is in constant need of repair and is becoming more and more difficult to repair and keep running. These types of issues will rank as priority 1 as ones that we feel need to be addressed absolutely immediately. The emergent need of those obviously goes down out to priority 5. Priority 5 is really your long-term budgeting in terms of what you should look at for future replacement. You might have a rooftop units that are working absolutely fine, boilers that are working fine, roofs that are in excellent condition. Even your parking lots may be in very good condition, but obviously everything has a life cycle, and we're going to want to start listing that out and putting a cost to it so that your district can start budgeting for these improvements down the line. And finally, the third phase is preparing a cost estimate for each item in terms of what we believe it will cost now and the future items, putting in the cost we believe it will be in the future. Obviously, costs go up, material, labor costs go up. We want to take that into account when budgeting for those items. And we issue a final report to your district. This will outline each priority 1 through 5, everything that's needed under each priority by building, and a total cost. So then we can sit down with you and start discussing which items we need to address right away, which items might be not an immediate priority, but you might want to address immediately for various different reasons, and then start to evaluate the funding opportunities available to make these improvements.
Esip, or the Energy Savings Improvement Plan, is a self-funding mechanism that allows public agencies to borrow money and pay for improvements that will more than pay for themselves over time. It includes generally building systems like LED lighting, boilers, air conditionings, and controls. Oftentimes, projects in an Energy Savings Improvement Plan, or Esip, include renewable or on-site generation. Most commonly, rooftop and parking lot solar carports are installed to offset energy consumption, clean the energy emissions of each facility, and provide shaded parking and structures to support the infrastructure for future electric vehicle charging stations. Adding solar to a public building that can accommodate it at an economically viable rate is considered now a best practice. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems require special considerations when adapting them for things like improved indoor air quality and managing COVID requirements. Specifically, when we add filter performance to HVAC equipment, generally the energy consumption also increases. In certain cases, advanced technology like ionization system and other technologies can help increase the performance of filtration without increasing energy consumption. These are considered best practices, and when approaching air filtration and air cleaning, it is critically important to understand the downstream effect that the adaptation will have to the equipment and the energy consumption profile. Implementing an energy savings improvement plan is guided by the results of the energy audit and calculations for energy conservation measures. Once the energy conservation measures are identified, they're evaluated, ranked, and prioritized using a proprietary system and a Smart Select process. The Smart Select process allows end users to pick and choose energy conservation measures as part of their energy savings improvement plan and illustrate what effect each ECM will have on the project entirely in real time. This process is the leading edge of project selection and economic planning for energy savings improvement plans.
Hello, my name is David Healy, and I am the Director of Referendum Services for Colliers Engineering and Design. I am also a retired New Jersey school superintendent with a strong background in commercial construction and maintenance. And in my capacity as superintendent, I have been the chief architect for many successful capital school projects, including the very successful planning and implementation of a $147.3 million referendum and $17.8 million cost-neutral Esip. Derek and Tom have presented the first two parts of the facilities management lifecycle, with the third being a capital improvement plan that I will be presenting. This is a continual process of reviewing the condition of the facilities and making recommendations for upgrades, funding sources, including but not limited to referendum, Esip, and grants. This is typically facilitated by the board's Building and Grounds Committee and the Superintendent of Schools, Business Administrator, and the Facilities Department leadership acting as the advisory. Although similar in terms of purpose, not to be confused with the New Jersey Department of Education's required long-range facilities plan, where districts are required to amend these plans at least once every 5 years. Both are living documents. Our professionals at Colliers Engineering and Design will support your school district with the development and updating of each of these plans. Colliers Engineering and Design is a full service provider that will assist our clients with all or part of the facilities management lifecycle. Unlike the typical client-professional relationship, I'm proud and believe qualified to say that our team of professionals works as partners throughout the development and implementation process, always available and highly responsive. Whatever your project needs, whether it is state-of-the-art instructional spaces, parking lots, building expansion, athletic facilities, including turf fields, environmental issues, air quality needs, or playgrounds, to name a few, we have a proven track record of excellence, typically coming in under budget and ahead of schedule. Included in our full service offerings is supporting our clients in establishing and working with local partners, including facilitating project labor agreements, or PLAs. We do this by creating and sustaining a local workforce from your and the surrounding communities, further keeping dollars earned, spent, and invested locally. Additionally, we work with our clients in determining and securing available funding options, whether it is establishing Esip-eligible cost-neutral projects, non-Esip grants and stimulus, or referendums. Our experts include a full-service grants department that determines your district's eligibility while finding all available funding sources, saving your school district and taxpayers millions of dollars while simultaneously providing your students and staff with safe, secure, and environmentally conscious learning environments. This slide of capital plan summary is an actual example of such a symbiotic partnership. One of our largest projects, a highly successful planning and implementation of a $165 million school district capital improvement project consisting of significant improvements to 23 separate school district facilities by way of a historic voter-approved $147.3 million referendum and $17.8 million self-funding cost-neutral Esip. To date, and as we speak, this has come in well ahead of schedule and millions under budget. We welcome the opportunity to meet with you to discuss how we can bring these unique, high-quality professional supports and services to you. Please contact us for additional details in terms of how we can work as partners to achieve your school district's needs of supporting your students and staff. Thank you.
So we're going to talk about district-wide facility management systems. So these are long-term operation and maintenance planning with the use of GIS asset management. GIS asset management covers several areas to consideration on managing your assets. So you can do asset inventorying, document management, condition and risk, resource planning, preventative maintenance, field communication, work order management. GIS asset management programs are web-based and they integrate at an enterprise level, allowing you to manage the health of your facilities and your assets. So I like to call this managing inside and outside of your buildings, above and below. It's a scalable solution that meets your needs. And one of the most important parts of it is the field communication process, where you're able to use mobile applications to connect your field and office staff. Facility asset management can be sliced and diced at different levels. So here we're looking at an asset, which is the administration building, and you can see there's an informative map that ties to the database. This allows you to look at campus level views or down to an asset view. It's all location based. It will show costs to date, installation and replacement costs. You can conduct your budget planning and also track historic documents and retrieval of those documents in and outside in the field and office. These are some of the levels of facilities that we see our clients managing through GIS asset management. So you have your buildings, but those buildings are broken into floor space. So you can look at first, second, third floor. You can also look at plumbing, lighting, HVAC, and your roofing system. And again, assets that may be below the building, such as plumbing or in walls that you don't typically see. The characteristics of the asset management plan allow you to roll up the cost to date on that full asset. So in this case, we're looking at a public works garage. Within that public works garage, there's about 42 assets that have pending work assignments. And you can see that there's a total cost to date to manage that particular asset, that facility, and it gives you your estimated overall condition rating as well. So our clients benefit from these feature-rich programs, allowing them to proactively manage their buildings through the software. So you're managing inspections, work order processes, and the whole replacement and upgrades of equipment within that asset. These programs can be pushed all the way down to a sub-asset. In this case, you can see the condition of the HVAC unit outside on the building. So overall, you're able to be proactive on managing the operations of your assets and track the condition and the actual health of that asset. So the benefits of a GIS-based asset management program allows you to have an interactive map to look at your facilities and the assets inside of those buildings. You can attach documents, pictures, videos of the specific assets. You can even link third-party data. So a lot of cases we see that our clients may have another software. Maybe they do billing or inventory, and those databases can be tied into your GIS asset management program for viewing and reporting. Overall, you'll be managing your daily operations between your field and office. You'll get a good inventory of your asset's condition and the risk of failure. Estimate the value of each asset in managing infrastructure projects. So all in all, it becomes your trusted solution for looking at your overall assets.
I would like to thank you all for everyone for attending this presentation. A brief summary of what we went over today was first to evaluate your existing facilities and how they operate, and identifying both emergent as well as long-term needs. We talked about self-funded projects such as energy savings plans, as well as capital improvement plans, 5 and 10-year budgeting and referendum, and finally, asset management and long-term operation and maintenance plans so that you take care of these facilities long term to get the most use out of them, and make sure that the systems last for as long as they should. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the contact information that's listed below for both myself, Tom Bryce, Dave Healy, and Sue Zitzman. And once again, I would like to thank you on behalf of myself and Colliers Engineering Design for attending this presentation today.